Nuclear. Probably one of the worst things humanity has ever devised. So anyways, Bloons TD6, we have the Energizer, the Tsar Bomba, and the biggest one, which are deemed as nuclear towers in this game. Well, by this a symbol alone, you would think the biggest one has some kind of radiation about it. But we're also going to be deploying spite mines because that is the face that I am making when I am exposed to such elements. Also, we're going to be deploying down Striker Jones because it will help alleviate our black balloon issues very early on and later throughout the game. I'm talking about you, DDT. Also, since we are getting a mortar monkey on Frozen Over, we have to free our boy Caveman here, who is the complete antithesis, or the opposite, sorry, of nuclear. Bare bones, beat them with a club. We can do this round, absolutely. Now let's put down Otter Jones, who has definitely seen better days. If you think Pirates of the Caribbean, then definitely they have been on some kind of radioactive exposure of some kind throughout their lifetime. Next up, we're going to get ourselves a Monkey Ace place down onto the field for some map coverage means of attack. This will obviously be our Tsar Bomba. Twin guns, longer range. Hopefully this will help us. Yeah, that'll help us out in round 16. Round 15. Because round 15 is sure a blight, a plague, a threat like any nuclear holocaust has ever seen on a CHIMPS run. Very relatable. Obviously very relatable. The most nuclear of options. Exploding pineapples. Bomber Ace, and then we're going to get some rapid fires. The more darts is not necessary, but it's nice to have, especially if you've got a black balloon issue going on your hands here. Still, I like that rapid fire. It enables us to fire off darts and bombs more often. Who's going to say no to more rate of fire? Right, time to place down our mortar monkey. It is time to free our boy, the caveman monkey, from the depths of the icy waters here. All ice is water at the end of the day. Bomber Ace, please do your job against the leads. Brilliant. I know, a bit delayed there, but who cares? Now, let's see. Oh, this is a very nice spot, actually. And the cave monkey can pop leads, which is very nice. Won't be able to pop DDTs because of its lack of camera detection, but still. Nice lead poppage. And stun poppages, or stun properties. Stun poppage. Can pop stun balloons. Oh yeah, you can go over here now. Let's see. Shell Shock, which, the nerf to the yeah, this is still a false description nowadays of the big one and the biggest one, where only the shockwave factor can actually affect black balloons. So rip this thing's ability to damage DDTs effectively. Airbus stars, advanced intel. Definitely gonna go with the bottom path, cross path with this, just simply because any balloons within its radius will receive more damage. Although the middle path means we do get the option of being able to damage leads, and more balloons within its radius can be popped because it has a higher pierce cap. So higher pierce cap, higher damage per balloon that goes into it, but has less pierce. But regardless, this is a good path. Like, they made both cross paths very viable for different reasons. Okay, round 40, we have a Moab issue here, but guess what? It shall be dealt with. It shall be dealt with. Thank you for being dealt with. I realize I should just put the village where the mortar is, but it's a bit too late now. I'm also going to go with the big one because, well, it's the big one. Why wouldn't you get it? Blocker, radar, scanner. Even though it's not hugely necessarily needed because we have a plutonium reactor, but I prefer to be able to have that innate camera detection with our towers here rather than just rely on the decamification property of the plutonium reactor. We're not going to get the MIB because Striker Jones at level 19 is essentially an MIB for all explosives. Round 49 is being dealt with very fine. Sometimes this can be a very troublesome round, especially if you only partially damage the regrow rainbows, allowing them to multiply into even more rainbow regrows, and then from there even more. You get the gist, by the way. Let's see, the big one's doing big damage. Obviously going bottom cross path so that each shell does more damage because the lingering damage with the burning stuff gets better and better as you climb the tiers, with the biggest one doing 30 damage with the fire. Our next objective is getting the Energizer, because I would like that level 19 and subsequently level 20 as quickly as possible. Also, I just realized it now, this also has the nuclear symbol on it as well. Does this have a nuclear symbol on it whatsoever? Well, the name itself should give you a definite answer as to whether or not if it's nuclear or not. The answer is Soviet Union. Cave Monkey 2 Tower Chimps, can you do it? The answer is no, because the other tower needs to be able to pop every single other thing on the screen. And no, Corvus doesn't count nowadays, especially the fact that all of its records from the Bloons TD6 index has been wiped away recently. Rip Corvus, even though he has been nerfed since his prime day in update 40 actually. I was going to say 40. No, that was the one he was introduced in. Sometimes raw damage is not the only thing that you require to succeed in Bloons TD6. You need a little bit of damage control, and stuns in the game can certainly do that. Or slowing down balloons, or stunning them, or what's another word for stun? Paralyze? How would you do that? Shock? That's not even a thing. Slow down? I've already said that. What other status effects can you apply? I know there's fire, but that's not slowing them down or preventing them from moving. Here we go. The Energizer is up and running, which means now Octa Jones will get experience 50% faster. Next up, we will be getting the biggest one upgrade in the name of the biggest one. A tower which I really love nowadays. Since update 41, it used to just be bomb towers near Striker Jones gets a 5% increase and 25% pierce, but now it's just any tower in his radius. So that also includes a 5% increase in range for your little village here, and your dummy thick range for your ace here. But it's mainly the 25% pierce. Now that is a big thing going on here, especially when it comes to towers which have a lack of pierce. So having that 25% increase with a high amount of damage could mean the difference between victory or continuously seeing the death screen. Not the blue screen of death though, I'm just talking about like the game over screen. The ending screen. The bad ending screen, if this is a visual novel. Besides around 100, I always prefer the middle crossbar. Oh god, a bit of lag there. Because of the fact that we do apply more stuns throughout. But in this case, we definitely need more damage against the bad if we're going to succeed in this scenario. And that is where the burny stuff comes into play here. This does more damage per shell, but the middle path provides more stun overall, which I think is the better cross path when it comes to 2 megapops with this particular tower. You always want a high rate of fire, then a higher amount of damage per shell if it means that you can get more damage out, but more importantly, more stuns throughout your playthrough. I mean, mad is the definition that people use when one country decides to use a nuke and then the other country which retaliates in kind also uses a nuke. It's something that benefits no one and is the eradication of everyone, because everyone in the blast radius will just be absolutely incinerated. You would either want to be in the dead center of it so that you don't feel the pain, or you want to just be as far away from it as possible. I don't want to be in the part where I survive, but I have a lifetime illness because I was somehow exposed to the elements of uranium or whatever kind of radioactive element was involved within the blast itself. Like, I'd rather be in dead center so that I don't feel the pain and just instantaneously evaporate, or just don't be anywhere in it at all. Like, those are the only two criteria I have. Just be inside the center of it, where I don't feel anything, and I just go by. Oh, hold on. Or just don't be in it at all and survive and not feel any of the ailments. I don't want a Chernobyl throughout my entire life, thank you very much. Which is what we're displaying today against the balloons with the Energizer, the biggest one, and the Tsar Bomba eventually. Yeah, the biggest one is going to be next. And if that doesn't show you enough if that is a nuke or not, then I don't know what is. Also, that it looks like that sprite has been implemented by the Bernie stuff because of all the red inside the explosion. But then again, what color are explosions really? The ZMG is making it quite far. I'm a little concerned really. Are you gonna die or not, or do I have to resort to drastic tactics to ensure that you do die? Let's see, I'm going to use Octa Jones's ability here when it goes down to the normal, there we go, that one there, just so there's a bit more time during the stun when it's that fast actually. Okay, round 81. We are 2k away from the biggest one. Let's have our pop count so far. Let's see, just check the pop count so far. So 69,000. Oh, nice. 38,245. Nearly 4,000. That's only 10 times less than the bomber race. Oh yeah, the biggest one is now affordable. Yeah, the biggest one was also affected by the nerf in which its center blast zone is an explosion type of attack rather than a normal type of attack. False description still, Ninja Kiwi. It requires a rewrite. Crikey, under 200 away from ground zero, which will give us a map-wise coverage of any lingering balloons left. No thank you, BFBs in below. And then when it comes to the Tsar Bomba, sometimes it can be no ZMGs or below, or requires multiple Tsar Bomba usages to completely eradicate a ZMG. Then again, ZMG is black and green, two colors that are kind of derived really for explosion, so nuclear really. Black because it's a representation of death in this scenario. I'm just talking about like the color itself when it's kind of represented like Grim Reaper sort of thing. And green because, well, that's the kind of color that you see in radiation, like let's say for example this Energizer here, in its physical form. Let's see, ground zero, yeah, that damages it but doesn't wipe it out, which is, you know what, it's it's expected, you know. Don't expect it to just instantly wipe out ZMGs. It's just like ground zero, not a Tsar Bomba. But this thing is just stupidly deadly. It's like one of the largest bombs ever created in the entire world when it comes to its radius. Arthur Jones is now level 20, lovely. Which means these DDTs don't have anywhere to hide when it comes from our explosion. So, when it comes to explosions. Let's see, round 91. This is going very, very well so far. The bad is still going to be the main threat in this entire run here. How far can we go through this scenario with the bad always being a looming threat, needing to chuck out as much damage as possible? Also, we can use artillery command to double the damage output from our biggest one here, which is nice. Round 92, going very, very well. We're going to use the ground zero on this round because of the DETs. Let's see. Let's just wipe them all out. Let's not waste any time with them. They're not going to be a threat whatsoever if we do wipe them all out. Thank you very much. That's round 93 sorted. The biggest one is never going to get the biggest amount of score here because of what it can do and its huge blast radius. Despite being called the biggest one, it's not the explosion that has the biggest blast radius. That title belongs to the super mines. It's not biggest, it's just super. It's like super monkeys are the best tower in the game. In some cases it is, in other cases not. It just depends on what it does and what it can do. And it no longer has support sacrifice benefits when it comes to giving towers some more money per pop and stuff like that. So that's no good whatsoever. Can we get Tsar Bomba in this round? Let's see. Biggest one doing a lot of the birdie damage here against him, and we can afford Tsar Bomba, lovely, which will be very, very handy for the likes of round 97 and round 98. But do we need to use it on those rounds, or do we need to save it up for when the fortified DTs spawn out? I'm not too sure, really. We'll see how time goes on. Yeah, I'm not cutting through the last like 10 rounds or so. Not too sure on how long we've been at this now without getting a cut. You know, when I do a little cut, when I have nothing really else to talk about because the game has been a little bit monotonous and stuff like that. But, you know, we're here for the long run. It's about the journey, not the end destination all the time, and though the end destination is very desirable, sorry. It's about the journey of getting from the beginning to the end. Otherwise, you won't know what you learned throughout the journey from beginning to end if you don't appreciate the middle part. Let's see. Tsar Bomba managed to wipe out one of the ZMGs down into that. Can we remove the rest of these balloons? Of course we can. Now this round, believe it or not, should be easier than round 97 because of the amount of RBE per unit is smaller. So yeah, the biggest one has an enormous amount of pierce, and with that enormous amount of pierce we can batter every balloon possible. And now around 99, a bit of a bigger menace to be honest. So let's double our damage output here with our beloved biggest one here. Can we do this round? Yeah. Now let's use Tsar Bomba. Okay, so this is where I'm going to be using our spiked mines here. Just have a little bit of back end here. Yeah, that's definitely the face I'm going to pull if I'm ever wiped out by a nuclear holocaust, honestly. I don't want to think very much. I don't want to think about the prospect of nuclear anyways, because of the fact that it is a world-ending scenario if one country ever dares decide to pull the switch first. Because you know everyone else with the capabilities is just going to do that anyway, so it's a bit of a grimdark scenario, but there are lots of fantasy tales like Warhammer 40k which are very grimdark anyways. Let's have a look here. We're going to initiate it. Oh, let's just do that actually. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Stun it. Stun them. Pop them, destroy them. Don't leave any of the ceramics left to us. Oh my god, I was worried about that last few ceramics there when I realised my body damage kicked in. So that, folks, is the trifecta of nuclear towers. What other towers do you think could fall into this category, to be honest? Oh yeah, we got 2 megapops. No, we didn't actually, because this is 3,310,000. So didn't really get that far. Like, we could have gotten the balloon solver actually. No, we couldn't actually. We still need another 1,000. So that, folks, is going to be my video on nuclear activity in Bloons TD6. Just don't use them in real life. Like, there's no winner. Everyone dies. So yeah, folks, if you want to help me out in any way, shape or form, then please consider using my creator support code whenever you are purchasing anything in the shop. And other ways you can help me is by liking the video, commenting and subscribing for what other kind of videos you'd like to see me do in the future. With the comments and subscribing means that you have an interest in the channel and you would like to see future videos from me. I do 2 megapot scenarios, 2 tower chimps scenarios. I cover paragons whenever they are released by trying to get all of them at level 100 without a single other player nearby. I may do a video soon on collection events because even though I'm up to diamond chest, I think that diamond chests are a waste of time. They have increased the odds of getting tier 5s, but I don't enjoy spending 2 scenarios on Impossible on a expert map and then finding out that I don't get a tier 5 at all. It's like I spent an hour or so trying to do these scenarios, and now it's just like I just get tier 3 towers. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and take care of yourselves.